Starting from this point forward on this channel, I'm going to be doing something a little bit different than I traditionally do things. Something I wanted to do, besides just delivering my thoughts on particular news stories, criticize companies, and occasionally YouTubers, I want to make theory videos, reviews, and discuss shows and movies in general with everybody. Case in point, today's topic, Thor Love and Thunder. Yes, I know the majority of MCU fans and critics dislike this film, myself included. The more I've been thinking, I think we judge the movie too harshly, especially going back to two films, Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and the show Loki. Now, Thor Love and Thunder was a movie everybody agreed. It was the most ridiculous film, not just out of the Thor films, but out of the entirety of the MCU, but not in the good kind of ridiculous. It had two annoying goats that did everything to annoy the viewer, the delivery of the actors on screen being overly dramatic and serious, and the entirety of the film was a huge point of view telling by Korg. No MCU movie has done this, and the way this was done should never be done in the way this was done. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't have movies that are told by the memory of another character. Or at the very least, be done as a TV show for the MCU. This style could work, but only if it's done like MCU movies are typically done, where everything flows and not so serious and dramatic. I also get why the film was overly comedic. Story and tone-wise, it was dark. But it didn't have to be this way for the entire film. I think Thor Love and Thunder was setting up stories to be told as if it was a comic. I forgot which episode of Film Theory that Matt stated this in. It was either Thor's past setup spoilers or Ant-Man dies in Quantumania. But in one of those episodes, he stated that originally the MCU was mimicking the comics and shaking up the stories a bit, but also being bound by the main comics and being shaped by the comic stories. But out of the modern day, it's the comics being shaped into what the MCU is. One clear example of this is the first issue of the 2022 Marvel Comics event, Judgment Day, where there are different timelines that was shown visibly to the reader that most pass end in destruction. Now, thus this very image, an image where I took a screenshot from the YouTube channel of this from Variant Comics, I could not find a photo of this anywhere. Does this image look exactly like the Sacred Timeline and the branches of the Sacred Timeline from the show Loki? Yes it does. And I don't think this is a coincidence, especially considering that the MCU is officially listed as Universe 616, the same as the universe in the comics. Sure, this was originally a lie told to us by Mysterio in Far From Home. However, it was confirmed to us by Multiverse of Madness. Marvel Studios wants us to know the MCU is the comics. A version of the comics that's bound by the rules of reality for the most part. Hell, even in Loki we saw a frog version of Thor from the comics. We even saw the Thanos copter from the comics. We saw an old man Loki who had the costume of Loki, and say it with me, from the comics. From this point on, and every theory channel you can steal this idea from me, is we call the MCU as MC16 and the comics as CT16. Yes, it's a Rick and Morty reference, however, it completely fits. I feel like both Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics is trying to tell us that the CC16 comic universe is going to end sooner rather than later. Not because of poor sales of comics, but for the comics to tell us the story of the multiversal war we saw in Loki, but see how it ended, and Kang, He Who Remains, gives birth to the MC16 universe. If you happen to like this video, please give this video a like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you agree with me, and give your own theory to the subject, and let's get the discussion started. I'll see you all next time in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.